What if the key to unlocking massive growth in your business was hidden in plain sight, buried in inefficiencies you learn to live with? Today's guest, Walaa Wahba, has made it his life's work to solve those inefficiencies and create solutions that drive lasting success. Walaa is the visionary founder and CEO of Improve and Solve, where cutting-edge AI meets lean and theory of constraints, methodologies to revolutionize your business processes and skyrocket your operation efficiency. Welcome to the stage, my brother.
Hey. How are you doing, Carlos?
I'm doing amazing, my friend.
Good to see you again.
I'm super excited to be here with you. I know it's early for you. You are in Japan right now, and we're doing this show live, and it's like really early there. And I'm very excited doing this show, my brother. As you know, you've been in the Navy for a very long time. I've done a little bit of Marines in Brazil, so I love my Navy brothers. And anybody, man, around the world, man, that is military, that's out there, that's protecting our countries, a shout out. And I'm very excited for this show, as I know it's going to benefit a lot of CEOs, a lot of folks, because a lot of people out there, I often talk about having systems in place. You got to operate from a systems approach, not a goals approach. And I know that you are up to something really powerful things. And we're going to go straight to it. While your career, you know, it spans from like military precision in the Navy to leading businesses transformations. Mm-hmm. What inspired this shift, my friend? And how did your time in the Navy shape your approach to problem solving?
Well, it's a great question, Carlos. I actually, throughout my life, I always wanted and tended to make things faster and better. But when I got into the Navy, I learned a lot, you know, and I reached a point, I think it was 2010, and I got introduced to Lean Six Sigma, the methodologies, and I started learning about it. And my mind just went, right, the methods and the way the system are put in place, it's mind-boggling, and it just aligned with everything that I wanted to do. And moving forward, I was like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. I really want to do help, because since then I've been helping the government. Like, you know, any place that I go to, I save them like millions of dollars of resources on a regular basis. So I was, man, like, you know, my friends were like, why don't you do this on the outside? Actually, like, you know, the business sector needs you. And I was like, okay, you know, and I started teaching civilians, and it took off from there.
I love it, brother. I love it. One thing that I always say on this stage is discipline and innovation, they don't compete. They collaborate to create brilliance.
Absolutely.
Somebody write that down. And can you share like a defining moment in your military career that taught you the value of efficiency or innovation?
That's, you know, when you ask me that question, it kind of turns me back to 2018, if I'm not mistaken. I was in the middle of a project, and it was a big project, and they tell you there's a rule. It's called the 20-80 rule. So basically, you do 20% of the improvement, and it will result into 80% results. And it actually happened in front of my eyes. It was absolutely amazing, because of, you know, it's the government, so I can't talk much about it other than it was about inventory and having accountability while saving in the process. It was just that year, 2018. That was the year that I was like, light bulb. You know, that's when you get that point that you're talking about. You know, And since then, it's been game on, moving forward for every place that I go to. And I decided to do improve and solve. I've been thinking about it for quite some time, but commitment to the country, commitment to what I need to do took some time in order for me to get going. But now we're here, we're strong, and we are ready to serve.
Yes, sir, man. Man, I love it, brother, man. Salute to you, my friend, out there, helping and protecting our country for a very long time. I love all my military friends, and I love talking about it because we learn so much in military, and we can apply so much from that in businesses and make businesses more efficient. And whose CEO doesn't like, right, saving some money by putting the right systems in place? And speaking of that, Walaa, for businesses that are stuck right now in operational inefficiencies, where should they start in identifying the root causes?
That's a great question. And one of the main things that I normally teach my clients is they need to identify what are the wastes. In order for you to be efficient, you need to identify what wastes do you have, right? And in order to find those wastes, you need to understand what is a process, right? You believe it or not, a lot of clients, when I see and I ask them, hey, tell me in your own words, okay, what is a process, right? And some people get it. Some people, they be like, hey man, it's just a bunch of steps and then we'll get the result. I was like, all right, okay, but believe it or not, people, when they think about processes, they only think about the big ticket items, but they never look at the small things. All right. And for example, there are 8 types of wastes. All right. And I have a term for it. It's called Tim Wood U. There are 8, right? So you start with transportation, and then you have inventory, you have motion, you have waiting, overproduction, overprocessing, defects, and underutilization of personnel. All those types of wastes are there. And in a perfect world, you would not have any. But being realistic, you need to be able to see, all right, this is my current process. All right. I want to be here, which is the ideal, right? Which is 0 inefficiencies. And then now I'm being realistic, and I'm going to map my future states with some waste because, like Toyota, for example, Toyota is the most efficient company on the place of the earth, right? Do you know what is the efficiency percentage for Toyota?
What is it? You got me curious.
Give me a guess.
From 0 to 100?
Yep. What is the percentage of Toyota's efficiency? The most efficient company in the world.
70%.
All right. It's actually about 49%, and it's the most efficient.
Wow.
All right. 30 years ago, all right, the most efficient on the face of the earth, it was 16%. All right. So, and if Toyota is 49% and it's the most efficient, can you guess what is the average of the companies right now?
Wow. If the most efficient is 49, the average of the companies, they got to be on the low 10s. I bet you it's like 6%.
Yeah, it's about 15. It's about 15% right now. So, wow. So I'm telling you, like, process improvement is a field. Like, it's the field to get into, Fortune 500 companies. Imagine that Fortune 500 companies, they still did not break the 50%. But what made them Fortune 500 is their ability to identify those wastes and how they can cut the cost in order for them to increase the revenue and have more of the profits to expand.
Wow. And to all my Fortune 5,000 leaders and CEOs listening to this, just imagine how much money you guys can be saving and bringing back in revenue just by implementing and putting better systems and processes in place. And while, how do you tailor your solutions like across different industries for like the as diverse as, I mean, you are in aviation, with the Navy, and then you also dealing with manufacturing and administration. You have an extensive background and experience. How do you tailor your solutions across all these industries?
So, funny thing, it's the concept is the same. Toyota, for example, that's made this whole thing, right? Well, actually, believe it or not, the method of lean came from the States, but it was not implemented properly until they actually went to Japan. Japan said, "Oh, this is nice." So they took it, they make it a whole lot better, and they made it, the first term for it was called the Toyota production system. So it started in the manufacturing, right? However, the method itself, it can be applied in any field, and it does not. Yes, if you work in a specific field, absolutely, the more you know about the field, the easier it will become. However, the methods are still the same. Like, it doesn't matter. I can go in any field, right? All it's gonna take me is just ask extra couple of questions, but everything will be tailored. It's amazing.
I can relate. No, man, I can relate big time. It's like in sales, right? Sales in sales. And shout out, we got some folks over here on LinkedIn, on Facebook. We got Kelly all the way from Australia. Much love, sister. We got Sergio all the way from US in Arizona. We got a LinkedIn user that I don't see your name, but shout out, the insightful discourse. I love it. We got people here live from around the world watching us. And it's so cool because you are in Japan. I'm over here in Silicon Valley, Northern California. And really cool, brother. And, it's funny, there's this whole discussion about operational, inefficiencies and just making I often talk about on the stage, right? We're making those 2 millimeter shifts, like when you're playing golf and you just make a 2 millimeter adjustment. I don't know if you guys ever heard this term, which if you hit the ball 2 millimeters off, the ball will going to be 100 yards to the left or 100 yards to the right. But when you make that small shift, when you have somebody like Carlos or Walaa come over and just help you, coach you, making those small adjustments, you'll be impressed on your inefficiencies becoming efficient and increasing the bottom line revenue by 100-fold, if not 1,000-fold, based on the size of your company. And what are some of the biggest misconceptions, like in small businesses, they have about like process improvement?
Oh man, where can I start? So small businesses, normally they tend to say, "Oh man, process improvement is just for big companies. We don't it doesn't apply to us." But in reality, more than likely, small businesses, they need it even more than big companies, because smaller businesses, they don't have that much revenue, right? So they really need continuous process improvement in order for them to lower their cost as much as they possibly can. Another misconception that I see a lot is, "Oh my God, it's going to be too expensive." That's why big companies only do it. And while that's true in some cases, it's not true in the general field at all. And what they can do, if they just decided, "Hey, you know what, let me see what I can do," right? There are a lot of options out there. I'm one of them. I do free consultations. I really try to help small businesses because I truly believe the small businesses are the cornerstone of a middle class society. And in any society, middle classes are the one that builds or breaks the country, the city, the town. So I truly care for for that segment.
Yeah. No, man. And I know you, and I know you do, brother, because I know you for a long time. And I love it how you operate, you know what I mean? And it's funny because you brought such a great point about people thinking, this only happened to the big companies. It doesn't happen in my company, and it's one of those things where I often tell people on this stage, if you're going to doubt something, I want you to doubt your own doubts and let that sink in for a second. And when is the last time that you think about your own thinking when it comes with processes, inefficiencies on the way how you are conducting and operating your business right now? Yep. It's so important, guys, and that's why we're seeing so many businesses going under. And I know, Walaa, you love AI. I mean, you've been doing some really cool stuff. I know there's certain things you cannot talk about, because of your background in the Navy, but some of the things that you can talk about in the AI world, a lot of people think they know AI, and there is so much more to AI, than your traditional chat GPT or some of these other softwares out there. And AI is a big part of your vision, Walaa, as it's part of mine. I know that we can do so much more with it. And how do you see AI transforming efficiency in business today, my friend?
Oh, you can already see it. It's been adopted everywhere right now. What's good about AI, that's any repetitive task can be taken off your plate. Anything that you do it on a consistent basis, poof. Whether that's what is that, sending emails, what is that, even right now, I have voice agents, so you don't even have to answer phone calls anymore. AI can have your personality, have all your information that you need to feed it, and once you train that AI, they can absolutely take the phone calls for you, book appointments. If you're a business who have clients and you need prospecting and you need to know if that client is qualified or not, you can do that. So you don't have to waste that precious time, because time is one of the most precious things on earth. Once it's gone, it's gone. So we need to take care of that time, right? Instead of working in the business, you need to be working on the business, strategizing, going to different conventions and talking and networking and inviting more people into your business, versus getting stuck in the cycle of, I don't have time because I have to follow up and I need to do this and I need to send the emails and I need to go do that. And AI can do that for you and allow you that freedom of time for yourself.
I love that. What I really like about AI with some of the innovations, I often, and by the way, guys, we're not talking about here like AI isn't it about replacing people? It's about enhancing their potential, right? It's enhancing our team's potential. It is putting the right processes and systems in place and playing with the right AI tools that's going to take, because to Walaa's point, if we can help you make more money and buy your time back, you can ever pay us for that, because it's something that I often teach my clients. They want to speak on more stages. So I put them in the right industry stages. So now you speak in front of your avatars. Now you have CEOs coming to you versus the other way around it. Now you're making a whole lot of more money. And now I tell you, take some of the money, most of it, and invest in the right software, in the right people. Check it out, Walaa, some of the things that he's doing, and putting the right systems in place. Just the things that you can do within your, customer service, sales, AI agents, AI agents is incredible. It's becoming so fascinating where now your potential clients, it doesn't matter what you sell, whether it's an object, a freaking chicken, whatever it is, you can have your AI can be like this. It can actually play with the other person on the other side on the phone. And let's say, for example, we're filming this like a few days prior to Thanksgiving. The AI is becoming so powerful, guys, that the AI can actually play with your people, with your potential clients, and say, what are you cooking for Thanksgiving? And it can have conversations like that as they are pitching or they are qualifying your potential client. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the next level, the highest level of AI that you can have for your business. I'm not talking about none of the fluff stuff that you guys seen out there. It's a bunch of fluff AI things out there that people are white labeling and calling anything AI. I'm talking about stuff that the next level stuff that, certain things, while I can talk about, but certain things he can't because it's classified. But you know what I mean? It's about using the latest generation in AI with our experience and now implementing those processes and systems in your business. I don't care the size of the business. This can be applied to any business because every business needs customer service, needs sales agents, you need processes, you need a whole bunch of other things that we don't have enough time here, unfortunately, to go through it all. But such an incredible topic, man, that I really enjoy discussing. And Walaa, could you share maybe a success story? I mean, where your process improvements and strategies and AI implementation, like create a tangible result for a client?
That's a great question. So my company, it's not because Improve and Solve is just it's brand new company. I have literally utilized AI in all aspects instead of having a one-man show, right? It's very hard to start a business just by yourself, right?
Yeah.
There are so many aspects of things, and I started and I learned AI. I'm a certified prompt engineer. That means that I can actually interact with AI in a specific way with the prompting in order for them to give me the correct results that I need without the fluff. Like, ChatGPT, for example, if you ask them a question and they don't know the answer, they will come up with an answer. It's not particularly a right answer, but they will never say, I don't know, unless you actually prompt it and tell them like, hey, if you do not have this answer, I want you to tell me that you don't know and give me like, a peer-reviewed or something in that effect.
And that is such a great point too, Walaa, because a lot of people, they are playing with GPT. And as you and I know, ChatGPT and a few others AI softwares out there, they can be biased, right? One, they cannot know and give you whatever answer. And then what if you try to program ChatGPT, if you trying to be cheap, I'm going to call it out, and you want to use ChatGPT, of course, you can build your customer service agent with ChatGPT. However, would you trust it to let that ChatGPT answer things on your behalf, to a potential client? It's a fine line here. That's why it's important to go deeper into AI to save time by working with people like Walaa, like myself. They're actually using, like, Walaa is a prompt engineer. He goes way deep within AI to the point
absolutely
customizing one for your business. That you guys are listening to us here right now. Think about a problem that your customers are seeking and they don't know how to solve, but you have the superpowers to solve it. Now imagine Walaa comes in, customize and engineer a sales agent, a customer service agent, executive assistant that thinks like you, acts like you, and literally engineer to its finest. And that's what I'm talking about here, guys. I'm talking about like next level, like the stuff that you guys see Elon Musk selling a robot for 20,000. It's that plus something, But Walaa, I mean, that I love technology, man, and I hear stuff all the time.
Yeah.
But
you're not. Look, you're not wrong about the concept. Yes, it's all about how you build your agent utilizing OpenAI. There's nothing wrong with ChatGPT. It's the way you build it. It makes a whole lot of difference from just giving him a prompt like, hey, you're a customer service agent, and hey, here is my website, and go to town. That means that you give free reign for your AI to do whatever, right? The whole idea is to be very precise in what that agent or that assistant is doing for you, and how they're supposed to interact with your customers, right? So it's definitely something. And I as you said it, like, people need to adapt to this thing, because and you know what, one thing that I'm going to tell you, a lot of people, they believe that AI is coming for their jobs. And consultants, all right, consultancy is one of them, believe it or not. But if you are going against AI, you are going to be left behind and ran over. So instead of being against the wave, I highly recommend to embrace that wave, make a, like, like, improve and solve. Like, I can make an assistant for you. I can make you a consultant. And instead of selling you once, I can sell you multiple times. You can build you and your consultancy in just one assistant, and that assistant can serve so many people at the same
I'm
time.
telling you, man, it's so powerful. It's like you said everything about, you don't want to go against Mother Nature, baby. That's what it comes down to. AI right now is Mother Nature. AI right now is, it's just taking over. And, and there are so many things that we can do to improve our processes, our inefficiencies, anything that's not working. Think about it. If you guys are not making enough money, imagine programming a few, even, I'm not even going to talk about 100 AIs on your behalf. Let's just put a few AIs out there, a few extra assistants, a few extra customer service agents, and you program them. Now they can go out there on your behalf. Now they are programmed and engineered correctly for maximum improvement and efficiencies. Imagine what it can potentially do for you, right, and your business growth wise. I just want to open up you guys' mind a little bit for it's a lot of more things that are out there, and your competitors, they are looking at those things right now. You'd be surprised how many businesses, they think they know AI. And then when we go deep and talk about it, they're like, wow, that is so much more that people have no idea that can be done right now to improve so many things. And well, I mean, your mission is to make high quality consultancy accessible to small businesses. Why is affordability such a cornerstone of your approach?
So a lot of times when I ask, like, as I said, like, small businesses are where I try to solve, like, their problems. And while big corporation, they do have, like, the money to pay someone like me, like, $10,000-$15,000 just to come take a look or whatever. Small business owners, they don't. Like, imagine a restaurant owner, right? If a restaurant owner, they are barely making enough profit in order for them to do what they need to do, right? They don't have enough, like, $15,000 extra just to get someone like me to come take a look at their processes. And that was the initiative of creating Donna. And Donna, she is going to, I'm actually in the middle of programming her right now. She is going to be like an AI assistant with all my knowledge when it comes to process improvement. So with the palm of their hands, they can actually interact, learn, have the theory, and try to implement those things themselves. And then if for some reason they can have a free consultation with me to help them with their business. Like, I really hope, like, people would understand the concept, and it's called continuous process improvement for a reason. It's there's nothing called perfect, right? Yeah. What's perfect today is not going to be perfect tomorrow. So small little things. And there's a book by Paul Akers. Its name is 2-Second Lean, and it's talking about how just improving something by 2 seconds on a consistent basis is going to make a whole lot of difference. So, for example, if you have a process that takes you 30 minutes to do it, right? And then every day, right, the consistency, every day you shave 2 seconds out of that process. Just 2 seconds. by the end of the year, you would have shaved 12 minutes out of the 30 minutes. That's almost 50% reduction in inefficiencies. So those are the things, and it's okay for new people who are getting into the AI. It's okay, there's nothing wrong with you sucking at a new thing. All right, no one hits the ground on top, right? Yeah. And so you start, and yes, hey, a lot of people like, I don't know where to start for my business. I'm like, yeah, all you're gonna do is just ask and go ahead and start, and then little by little you're gonna start learning how can I improve this? Okay, how am I improving this? How is this being integrated with this, right? And as you go through your knowledge, you're adapting to the new era and the new technology moving forward. And I promise it's going to make your life a whole lot easier moving forward.
Yeah, that's so true, brother. I often talk about less is more. And if we can improve those 2 seconds, those small increments, man, they will save us. Imagine, just cutting your time in half on those 30-minute tasks that you do throughout the day. Imagine as you go months and years down the line, you're talking about thousands of days back in a lifetime. What would you do with those thousands of days in a lifetime? It's I highly encourage you guys to really take time on your time off and your weekend to really studying AI, to really reaching out to people like Walaa, like myself, and digging deeper. And I love how you are making improve and solve accessible for people around the world, where you can not only save them a shitload of money, pardon my French, but really helping them and educating them the proper way with high level tools and systems that can really make a difference. Because I know that making a difference is something that is big for you. I know that, like myself, you love helping others. And me, I'm on a big mission, ending hunger, sex trafficking, organ trafficking. I know you love helping kids like I love helping kids with education.
Absolutely.
And God brings us together, man, so that we can, I often talk about, I cannot do it by myself, Walaa cannot do it by himself. But if we bring in the celebrities, the athletes, the CEOs, and AI with the right tools and precision and making those inefficiencies efficient, we can accelerate that growth much faster and through our causes. And speaking of causes and looking forward, Walaa, how do you envision Improve and Solve contributing to a global business and AI education, as I know that is big to your heart?
You're absolutely right. So it tells you any business from the start, in order for that business to mature and to be up and running properly, it takes between 5 to 7 years, right? So my vision is in 7 years from now, I'm a cornerstone, where free education of AI is something that is done on a daily basis. I have teams explaining how to get to these things, because AI is going to take over a lot of things, right? But once it takes over, it's going to create a lot of opportunities, right? Once AI is the norm, right, then it will create more things, right? If you look back, right, during the time of war, there were blacksmiths, right? Now we don't have blacksmiths, right? Because the technology and the era changed. But that doesn't mean that it just takes the jobs away. It creates more jobs, just a different set of jobs, right? And so in 7 years, this is going to have already happened, right? A lot of people are going to be in need of AI adaptation. A lot of people are going to have that in their business or in their mind, and I would like to be that cornerstone when everyone can come to me and ask for help. And hopefully my initiative will be good enough to satisfy everyone that comes through my path.
I love it, brother. I love it. I know that you will, my friend. And as you know, brother, before I ask you the last question, as we're getting towards the end of here, this incredible show, where is the best place, Wala, that they can find you, that they can hang out with you? I know that your site is improveandsolve.com.
Yes, yes.
That's your site. Is that the best place that they can learn more about you, more about some of the things that you are up? Where do you hang around the most on social media? Or is the best that they go to improveandsolve.com?
Yeah, so I'm just like, as I told you, like, I'm starting new. Improve and Solve is where they can send it. I have an electronic business card. Like, there's a QR code that I can share, and people can go ahead and find me that way. They can directly book appointments with me, as well as the website. Either or. Improve and Solve, we do have all the channels and all different social media. However, as we go forward, more and more content is going to start popping up, and my whole vision is to build a community. I'm not, as I said, like, I started as a consultant in process improvement, and with the AI, it just is this powerful backing at what I'm doing. So, like, if I have a power now, I have a superpower simply because of AI. And the whole idea is to build a community. You want to build a trust. You want to have a, like, the people, whatever they need. Like my platform, for example, Improve and Solve, I have one of the applications called Idea Spree, right? And Idea Spree is where my clients, whenever they are using the app, everything is, but they're like, oh man, if I just have that app that makes this solution, and they can just go on Idea Spree of like, hey, Walaa, can you please make me an application that does that, right? And it will automatically go on my waiting list, and I will try to get to it as soon as I possibly can to give it and provide it to the clients. So yeah, like, right now I have like 41 applications, and I'm still growing. And later on, like, it's going to be huge. And this is going to be huge.
And I
It's
love
just
your digital business card. It's pretty cool. Maybe go on LinkedIn and post a photo there on the comments of that digital business cards. I highly recommend you guys talk to Walaa, ask about that digital business card, because as you guys know, what is the behavior when we grab a regular business card? People normally, they will throw it away, they'll put it in a box, they would, So with the digital one, you actually you're linked for life, and it's pretty cool with the advancements in AI. How
yeah, you can actually, like, talk to the AI. Like, I have the AI embedded inside of my business card. So if you're a little bit hesitant, people, they don't really want to talk right away with the person, right? So you have the AI that you can interact with it, ask about the company, ask about me, and then once you're ready, there is also a link on the business card, or if you want to book an appointment. So it's pretty awesome. I
Yeah,
like it.
and this is something that everybody here can apply. You can have it for your own business. Where now, when they're asking, learn more. Now, instead of you having them talking to an assistant and talking to you, you can save that time by having the AI being programmed like you to now handle that client. And potentially, if that person want to learn more and like what they see, now you have an actual really warmer lead now coming to your space on Zoom, on in person, whatever that the meeting may take place. So very, very cool, my brother. And it's your eulogy. It's
Oh.
70 years from now. You are
Oh man.
100 years old, and your best friend gonna be reading it. If I happen to be alive, I doubt it. I'll be there with my Marine hat, smoking a Cuban cigar, drinking some scotch or tea for my wife. And your best friends gonna say, Walaa Wahba was dot. Who was Walaa?
Oh, well, this is man, you're hitting next to my heart, man. Most people, and there's nothing wrong with it, but most people, they grow up, they make a family, and they grow old and then they die and they move on, right? I didn't see that for myself. What I saw is I want to make a dent in the world. Like really, so when I die, at least people will say, Walaa Wahba. He was a great man. He was a visionary. And that was actually the initiative. I told you about it on my previously. We spoke about my nonprofit that I want to start. It's called Leah, right?
Yeah.
Life Enriched Academy. And I feel very, very strong about how teachers should be one of the most paid jobs on earth. However, they need to be scrutinized, because if you truly take care of your teachers that are taking care of your children, that means that you're taking care of the whole generation. So this is going to be an initiative that I'm going to start. And a lot of Improve and Solve is literally my vessel to get to that. I have a whole system for Leah to be self-sustaining. So, pardon my French, I don't want to beg for money and be under the fingernails of other people who can influence what I'm trying to teach the kids and have certain ideologies input in it. I truly believe that Improve and Solve is going to be that vessel. And as of now, proceedings from Improve and Solve is going to help with Leah's project. So I truly at this point in my future is the hands of God, if you will. And I know I'm not going to live to see the fruit of my labor, but I can make a movement. I can start the movement. I can have that first generation, my first class graduate, and probably I'm going to be, like you said, 80 to 90 years old by the time, because I'm taking children when they are 5 years old on out until they get integrated into the society. I'm not leaving them all the way until I don't want to say college, because college was made for a specific era, right? The US passed, or the world passed by an industrial era, and that industrial era is what prompted college to indoctrinate people. So because we needed more engineers, we needed more doctors, we needed more because those are the very first colleges that were instated, right? Because of the factories, because of the expansion. So we were in that industrial era that we needed colleges. However, right now I can tell you, trades, right, like carpenters, plumbers, electricians, those are right now are needed more than college degrees.
Yeah.
And moving forward is going to change. So as I'm adapting to what the children needs, like for example, all right, one of my major things I'm going to be teaching kids is the continuous process improvement mindset. In Japan here, they have a program called Lean Kids. So when you see a 7-year-old figuring their life out, I'm talking about they are coming back home, they put their backpack where it belongs, you go to the room and it's spotless, right? Even their t-shirts. What happens when you have a bunch of folded t-shirts on top of each other, and then you try to take a t-shirt from the middle? What happens to that stack? All right. It gets fumbled. No. Those kids can actually fold it in a way that they can take it, and they can take any shirt without messing the whole stack. So when a 7-year-old can do that, imagine what they can do when they are 30-year-olds and they're actually in charge of a position, whether it's in the country or in a company, what they can do. So that's that's one of the main things, a pillar that I'm going to be attacking. There's another pillars, but I know it's off topic, but
I love it, man. I really love that, because I'm big in discipline. I love the Japanese culture. Shout out to all my early masters. watching and listen to this. They trained me at a very early age. Sumo, judo, karate, aikido. They will put us to fight. They will pay me with large pizza and a 2-liter soda. And I was, I didn't have any fathers, man. So the Japanese, they saw me always been a big boy. And the Japanese is they own a bunch of properties and farms and land in northern Brazil. They're all over the Amazon, a large Japanese community. And I was kind of raised in that environment and, very big in discipline, family, faith, integrity, right? And shout out to all my Japanese brothers and sisters out there. I love them and I miss them. You know what I mean? It's I love that culture. And it's incredible. Well, even what you guys are doing in Japan, man, it's the evolution, and Japan is light years ahead of many, many other nations. They always been known for technology, been light years ahead. I remember growing up in Brazil, and Japan was light years ahead, even ahead of US at times. And so, man, I love this conversation, and while I really enjoy, brother. And guys, check it out. Walaa Wahba, best place to visit my brother, my Navy brother from another mother, at improveandsolve.com. The guy is a master at taking inefficiencies into efficiency, and, save some time, buy your time back. I always talk about, just hire great people, go out there, go make some money, and then reinvest the money back in your company and be ahead of the trend. I pray for everybody here. Thanksgiving is right around the corner. Happy Thanksgiving for everybody that's watching us live. That are listening. Happy. By the time that you guys are listening to this, is going to be after Thanksgiving. So enjoy your holidays and Christmas and New Year's, and get out there. And I'll leave you guys with this. As I often say, life is all about the mission, never the commission.
Hey,
that breaks us hard truly the days.
Hey, I like it. Hey, and I like to say also, like my motto, life is just a process. Learn to improve the process and you'll improve your life.
Oh.